back. And I'm here with Jason Cejour. We're talking about the violence and the gun epidemic in America, and specifically in Newark, New Jersey. What amazes me about you and your story is the choice that you made very early on, because you grew up in the midst of this violence, right? But you chose another course.
Right.
I mean, you're now, how old? You're 22 now?
No, I'm actually 20.
20, okay. So, and you're a student at Rutgers University,
Right.
which is the state university
Of
of New Jersey. And I'm fascinated by how you, as you were growing up with all of this mayhem around you, how you, or why you chose, what was it that inspired you to stick with education? Because that seems to be what's allowed you to navigate through this mayhem, correct?
Well, growing up, before my parents passed away, they always told me education is something no one can ever take from you. So I hold that with me, like very, very close, and I always tell myself I need my education. That's going to get me far in life. So I stuck to my books, and I've noticed going to like an urban school, urban neighborhood school where it's mostly populated by Black, African American population, where a lot of violence do occur. And I noticed the people that were in gang violence they're not graduating. They're not reaching the age of 18 because they're actually getting killed or being locked up, and they're just ruining their lives. And I was like, I can't put myself in that predicament.
Now you just said they were getting killed or being locked up. You mean being sent to jail?
Been sent, yeah.
Right? And that has happened to a lot of people and friends that you've had over the years, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
I lost a good amount of, probably 5 friends to death and probably 10 friends to the system, correctional system.
To the correctional system. How did that make you feel?
It made me feel, I was hurt because I lost one of the closest friends I had. People I grew up with I thought they'll still be with me to this day. There's not much I can do. I can talk to them, but they're not gonna listen. So all I can do is let them choose their path, and I can help guide them. But I can help guide them, but people only choose guidance they want help. They can't help nobody that doesn't want to be helped.
There's a lot of guns on the streets.
Right.
Why do you think that is?
Because there's a lot of guns in the streets because there's a high demand for them. So people will take the initiative to go in separate parts of the nation where it's easy to attain a gun, purchase it, bring it back up here in the States, and it'll triple the price and it'll create a profit, and it'll be a continuous cycle from there.
So you mean in other states? Because in America, different states have different laws,
Right.
With regards to guns.
Right.
And so what you're saying, I think, is that people will go to states that have more friendly gun laws,
Right.
buy guns there, and then just drive them back across interstate lines.
Right. And then sell them, and then create that whole process over again. It's a never-ending cycle.
Why do you think the problem exists?
The problem exists because the media and like rap songs, they're telling young minds that it's okay to kill, it's okay to sell drugs, it's okay to have guns on you. So that they're being influenced, and they're taking this influence into reality.
You bring up the media,
Right.
and that actually makes me want to ask you, do you think that the media have played a role in contributing to the epidemic of gun violence?
Yeah, media played a major role, in my opinion. play the major role. They play the key role because they're saying it's okay. And rap songs and social networks, the way people communicate within social networks, they're saying it's okay to have guns.
American media outlets are businesses, and they need to make money.
Right.
And so, from my reading of a lot of stories that have come out about this very serious problem, there's been a sensationalizing of gun violence. And there was a story recently in one of the local New Jersey newspapers about a recent death of a young man by the name of Robert Alston in Newark. And one of the details from the story that I found unfortunately lacking was that there was a narrative about the story, and there was a drama attached to it, but there didn't seem to be any suggestion at the solution. Because what these communities need are answers. Right? People need solutions. I mean, everyone knows that it's obtaining guns when one goes across state lines is easy. People are getting killed. That's a fact.
Right.
But people want to hear what are the solutions? Where do these young men go? So, what would you say to young men listening into this?
But the young men out there listening, I'll say just stay away from gang violence, stay away from violence, period. Stay away from guns, knives, any weapons that can cause violence, because the way we're young minds nowadays, since they have very irrational minds. So once they're irritated, someone's bullying them, the first thing they're gonna act is on violence, which is a cause and effect, which can lead into any effect. Who knows where that goes from there? It's just stay in the books and go and stay on education. That's the way out of life, is education.
I'm sure there were many instances where you were in situations
Right.
that could have spiraled out of control, and where violence and gun violence was a possibility. But you chose consistently to stick with education.
Right.
Right? And that's the message, I think, that young men living in inner cities want and need to hear. Now, you're at Rutgers,
Right.
and you've gotten there on a full scholarship.
Right.
Would you like to tell us a little bit about it? Because it's an exceptional story, where you've come from and where you are now.
Well, I'm on an academic scholarship. I did so by staying on top of my grades, doing a lot of clubs, building my resume within my high school, doing a lot of community service, just giving back to the community. Just to show them I'm putting effort into being a better person and being a better person within the community.
Well, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in and watching 9. And clearly there's a problem that needs addressing. And I think Jason and his story and his inspiration, in my view, provide the beginning of an answer to a social epidemic that does need to come to a